It's extremely serious, and that's why today I joined and inaugurated the Youth Congress protest outside the government secretariat building against the mismanagement of COVID by the state government. This is a very serious matter. 31,000 out of a total nationwide figure of just over 50,000 shows that we are no longer just the majority but the overwhelming majority of cases in India. At a time when everywhere else the perception is that the second wave of COVID is ebbing, it's coming down. Here in Kerala it's going up. And as you rightly pointed out, we used to be relatively proud that even when cases are going up, the mortality rate was low, but now the mortality rate is also climbing. There have been some real questions about test positivity as well, because Kerala, 70% of the tests used here are the antigen tests, which give you rapid results but less accurate than the RT-PCR tests. All of these things have raised some profound questions. And then in the middle of all of this, the government has announced that everybody except those under the BPL line, the poverty line, everybody will have to pay for their COVID treatment. Now this is something that perhaps the affluent or the upper middle class can afford. But people who are technically called APL, above the poverty line, are people in very difficult circumstances. Many of them have lost their jobs in the course of the last year and a half with the lockdown. And many of them have suffered terribly from the economic downturn as well. So to make such people pay is, to my mind, an extremely unfortunate and negative development by a government that has been elected on a platform of being the people's government. They have been going around saying that they represent the interests of the poor and the proletariat, and here they are kicking the proletariat in the teeth. So the symbolic protest that Kerala is in the ICU, and before it gets carried away in an ambulance, the government needs to take better action. That was led by the Indian Youth Congress, which, as we all know, was in the forefront of relief measures on COVID during the second wave. We even had a situation where embassies in Delhi were asking the Youth Congress for oxygen cylinders, identification of hospital beds and so on, because of the fact that they were the ones on the ball at a time when the government's ineptitude was widely apparent. So for this reason, we want to say to the public, listen to the Youth Congress. This is not just the usual political theatre. This is serious. Kerala needs to really get its act together.
Do you think the government has let their guard down after the second wave, maybe after May, June?
I think perhaps after the end of the first wave they let their guard down, because the complacency set in too early. And in the second wave they were certainly caught napping. The numbers speak for themselves.
Thank you.